For more than 5 years, Kesha has been in an ongoing battle with the well-known producer Dr. Luke. This battle has caused a lot of problems between the two, especially for Kesha, whose goal is to be free from her record contract. Why has this been going on for so long? Let's take a look at the history of Kesha and Dr. Luke and where it all went wrong. Lucas Gottwald, widely known as Dr. Luke, is an American record producer. His work has led him to be a popular producer because of hit songs he has produced like Our City, Locked Away, and Doja Cat's Say So. The producer started his professional career playing lead guitar in the Saturday Night Live band from 1997 to 2007. While he was performing a DJ set, Gottwald met Max Martin, a Swedish record producer, and the two started to collaborate on hit songs like Kelly Clarkson's Since You've Been Gone. In 2005, Gottwald signed Kesha, who he'd been mentoring for years at 18, to his publishing company. Dr. Luke and Kesha started working together, but soon were on opposite sides of one another. Things got serious and heated, and what seemed like a possible takeoff for her career turned out to be an intense, ongoing war. The two started clashing in private when Kesha wanted to produce a more rock type of direction with her music, but Dr. Luke insisted on her keeping her current sound, dance pop.
This day, when a searing tragedy struck in a place parents felt their children were safe. The worst grade school shooting in U.S. history, at least 27.
After the Sandy Hook tragedy in 2012, Da Young, a song that was released in the same year, was pulled off from multiple radio stations in the wake of the tragedy. The song dropped from number 1 to number 2 on Billboard's pop songs charts due to an 11% decline in radio play. Although it seemed insensitive at the moment, Kesha expressed her sympathy in a tweet where she revealed she had no control over those lyrics and singing them, as she was forced to do so. Kesha initially intended for the song to show her vulnerable side, but because it was released at the specific time, people took offense to the song. As a response, the Free Kesha movement emerged. In 2013, a fan of Kesha, Rebecca Pimmel, put together a petition in order to free Kesha from the management of the producer. The fan, along with other fans, claimed that Dr. Luke was stunting Kesha's creative growth as an artist. In early 2014, Kesha admitted herself to a rehab center for 30 days due to an eating disorder, specifically bulimia nervosa. Kesha's mother made allegations that Dr. Luke pressured Kesha to lose weight. Sebert claimed that Gottwald made a nasty comment toward Kesha. According to Kesha's mother, Dr. Luke said that Kesha looked like a refrigerator. He also intimidated Kesha into dieting, saying, A-list songwriters and producers are reluctant to give Kesha their songs because of her weight, in an email Luke claims was taken out of context. In the same year, in the month of October, Kesha sued Gottwald after claiming sexual assault and battery, including the incident in 2005. The month was October, and the occasion was a birthday party at the Hollywood Hills home of Paris Hilton. While attending the party, Kesha alleged that Dr. Luke gave her GHB, describing it to her as sober pills. After giving her the drugs, he took her back to his hotel room and violated her while she was unconscious. The following afternoon, Kesha's mother said she received a call from a disoriented Kesha who described waking up naked in the hotel room. Then a year passed without Kesha releasing any music under the label. Years prior, DAS Communications Incorporation and Kesha made up an agreement that the company would be paid 20% of the income that came from her music. They also gave her the option of ending the partnership if the company didn't get her a major label record deal in a year. Kesha ended up leaving DAS to work with Luke again and agreed to have him bring her contract over to RCA Records and songs which DAS and Kesha say she was coerced to do. Kesha once told her mother, "Dr. Luke just called me, and I have 24 hours to fire my lawyer and managers and go back with him. Anytime I get a contract, he's going to come forward and basically say he owns me. What do I do?" In the lawsuit, Kesha also mentioned another incident where she said Dr. Luke violently thrashed his arms at her, which led her to run barefoot down the Pacific Coast Highway to escape. The lawsuit also highlighted years of emotional and psychological abuse, which Kesha claims caused her panic attacks, severe depression, social isolation, and post-traumatic stress. In her lawsuit, Kesha requested to be let go from the record deal. Gottwald responded to this lawsuit by filing a countersuit in New York against Kesha, as well as her mother and her manager Jack Rover, for defamation. He denied the allegations stated in Kesha's lawsuit. Due to the issues with jurisdiction, primarily the lack of it, Luke's defamation lawsuits were dismissed in 2015. A year later, after Kesha filed the lawsuit, Kesha added Sony to her previous lawsuit against the producer due to the company turning a blind eye to the alleged abuse she says they knew about. In the year 2015, Kesha's prior lawsuit was halted at the request of Dr. Luke over a clause in the contract that stated all legal issues must be resolved in New York. Kesha then filed an emergency preliminary injunction request in New York court to be released from her record contract with Dr. Luke. In the request, she claimed that her career would suffer irreparable harm if she waited until the ruling of her sexual assault lawsuit. This request was denied by a New York judge since there had been no showing of irreparable harm. The judge also noted that Kesha was allowed to record new music without Luke's involvement. Kesha's lawyers argued that this promise was illusory since there would be no promotion of her new music, which was denied.
It's so deep and personal, talking about some really depression, suicide. Just tell us the meaning behind praying. Okay.
It's so personal. I've written every song on this album, and they're all so personal. And this song, I think, is just really important because it talks about me personally going through something very hard, lots of very hard things, making it through, not giving up, and finding empathy on the other side, which is incredibly hard sometimes.
Empathy is the word. And
it's difficult, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and we know it's been well publicized, the issues, and legally you can't talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. We're here now with you. And how has that music, though, helped you?
Because if it weren't for Kesha and her music, I don't know where I would be today.
It's inhumane. Everything about this trial, it's sickening, it's disgusting.
Really, really upset that the judge could not make a decision today. This case represents sexual abuse victims across the world.
She deserves freedom. Like, no one should be forced to work with someone that sexually abused them.
Disgusting. Sony, if they have any integrity, should not be trying to make money off of a person and then insulting them.
Kesha needs her freedom back. Dr. Luke is really whack.
The Free Kesha movement fans rallied outside the courthouse, and Kesha received support from many celebrities. One celebrity was Taylor Swift, who donated $250,000 towards Kesha's legal fees. And for the first time, Dr. Luke spoke about the lawsuit in a few tweets. Kesha stated, sworn under oath, that the producer had never assaulted or drugged her. But according to Kesha, this was false. She revealed on Instagram in April of 2016 that she had only said this because she was under the impression Dr. Luke would release her from her contract. In 2017, trouble hit the waters again after Kesha claimed that the producer violated Katy Perry. Last year, a Supreme Court justice in Manhattan ruled that Kesha defamed the producer in a text exchange with Gaga.
The user said to me, "Take your clothes off." And I said no. And I left. And they told me they were gonna burn all my music. And they didn't stop. They didn't stop asking me, and then I just froze and I don't
As a survivor of sexual assault herself, Lady Gaga who was subpoenaed in Dr. Luke's case over private text messages between her and Kesha, displayed her support for Kesha in the court. The unnamed producer who violated Gaga was suggested to be Dr. Luke. Luke then filed a defamation lawsuit against the former lawyer of Kesha who tweeted this. In early 2019, Gaga, who was in tears, which could have been a reaction to her own experience, shared her testimony. Gaga was asked by Dr. Luke's lawyers if she believed the accusations of assault tarnished his reputation. She replied saying, "If you are asking what my view is of his reputation, I made my view of him and his reputation when I saw her in that back room. That was an image of something that happened to me, and I felt and knew in my heart that she was telling the truth, and I believe her." Kelly Clarkson once stated she was blackmailed by her record label into working with Dr. Luke on Since You've Been Gone and My Life Would Suck Without You. If she didn't work with Dr. Luke, they would not release her albums. She described Dr. Luke as not a good guy. Dr. Luke, who's been accused of horrible things, has been allowed to produce music for several artists who I guess could care less. And throughout this ongoing battle, Luke was still profiting off of Kesha. This situation with Kesha is a prime example of the exploitation and creepiness that goes on in record labels. Unfortunately, things aren't over. A New York court upheld the lower court ruling from 2020 that Dr. Luke is not a public figure. He was said to be, at minimum, a limited-purpose public figure. The court also affirmed that Kesha's text to Lady Gaga was a defamatory statement, and that Kesha can be held liable for statements made by her lawyer and press agent. So this battle is still ongoing, and despite the numerous setbacks Kesha has, she is still fighting to be free from Dr. Luke. That's all for this video, everyone. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like. If not, then by all means don't. Subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. See you all in the next video.